Some Nebraska farmers see the fruits of their labor gone in an instant as those hailstorms rolled through. We talked with Nebraska Extension about how to assess the damage.
All do. So it's not a wonderful outcome for every field. Some really have been hit hard enough. It's the end of the road for it. But, growers are, across their operation making a list of those that are hit. And then, making that plan to assess. If it got an insurance agent, making a call to that insurance agent saying, hey, I got some hail damaged fields. And then next thing is go to the lake, go somewhere else. Don't go to that field till at least 4 to 6 is the lowest. I think 7 to 10 is a better estimation that growers will start to see a response from that crop.
Let's maybe start on the soybean side. What's kind of the outlook for somebody who's maybe taking some hail damage right about now?
But we want to know the crop is regrowing. So a hailstone hits low, really damages that vascular tissue. We may have nodes connected, but they're not able to move nutrients through that plant efficiently anymore. And so that 7 to 10 days is really going to tell us, do we have a viable plant out there?
You've even done some kind of time-lapse type stuff to see how a crop recovers, haven't you?
Yeah, we've done a lot. Both corn and soybeans, both crops are really neat in their response. Soybeans will initiate those nodes below and sometimes produce like a goalpost type plant, which means they're doubling their node count because there's 2 nodes forming every 3.7 days throughout the rest of the season, or at least till R5. So there's, I guess, to give growers some hope, there's some time right now for those soybeans to do something. If we were sitting, later in the season and this happened, this would be kind of no replant potential. Replants are pretty late right now, but still a potential. But we'd be out of a lot of windows for having those plants recover anything that was left out there.
And more specifically on corn, what would you kind of say to somebody who's kind of looking maybe at some damage to some corn then?
Yeah, we're again into that defoliation, really more complex assessment that you definitely need to wait. So anybody who's seen photos show up on Twitter of hail damaged fields notices a whole bunch of shredded leaves, right? Growers could be V10 through V12. Have a lot of leaves out. I think V10, about 50% of the leaves are out on corn. So you shredded a bunch of leaves and they're kind of hanging down that plant. And the question is, how many of those still can gather light and use it for energy on the plant? How do we know that? We wait 7 to 10 and we see if the tissue, tattered or not, is still green. Now, if it's still green, it's still functioning. If it turns brown, we lost it, in which case it becomes part of that defoliation loss. The tables for loss on defoliation in corn really surprise people. 25% or so defoliations. Yes, it causes some crop loss, not as much as what people might think. Again, if like soybeans, if we were having this conversation and your corn is tasseled, tasseling's the worst time to get hail. That's the highest potential losses we're going to see. But the big jumps for growers to consider is from that 25 to 50% defoliation, and then 50 to 75 and 100. That range and gap is where the losses really come up. And I could tell you a drive-by looks a lot higher than it actually is in the field. So these are not things you drive by and go, that looks like 50. You got to go out and really look. And adjusters are trained to do that assessment. It's hard.
There's some great webinars online. If people really want to dig deep into this, they can learn more. And of course, contacting your local extension office never hurts either.
Yep. Yeah. And a lot of what I talked about today is right on Hail No, which is part of that whole UNL Crop Watch and UNL system. That's your one-stop shop to walk through the process. There's nice graphics in there I got a hailstorm, step 1, step 2, step 3. So it's an emotional time. You want easy guidance. Those are nice references to take with you.